Hello everybody and welcome to my follow-up for Booking 101. Well, this is Booking 102 and I'm going to kind of take you back through the annals of what I've been doing over the years. So, most people would think that this is something I just started because everybody was doing it. Well, the year was 1990. I was about 5 years old, and at that point I didn't have a lot of wrestling figures, so I was using Thundercats and G.I. Joes for wrestling. Started off small, but then I think I had to be like 8 or 9. I started creating my own shows. So what I would do is I created storylines, companies. I didn't have a lot of friends at that time, so what I did is I would book shows like I knew I had to have this show on Monday, this show on Tuesday, this show on Thursday, this show on Friday, Saturday, Sunday I had to have, sometimes I'd have a pay-per-view or a special event, because at the time I was watching the World Wrestling Federation, I was watching WCW, I was renting old wrestling tapes, and I really got into it, and over the years I think I've created over 300 or more wrestlers, talent, everything, whatever you want to call it. Now some people could say this is stupid, is what some people would say, but to me it's my creative mind just flows, because okay, so let's take this in account. Do I just copy wrestlers that are off TV and copy what they're doing? No. So what I do is I'll try and come up with an interesting wrestling name, whether it's Star Warrior, the Black Devil, Malik to Kill, Oz 7, something that strikes my mind. Or if I hear about a wrestler that I think is really good, like say Ricochet, Leo Rush, Keith Lee, Matthew Riddle, what I'll do is I'll go search through YouTube and I'll go find their stuff. So I'll watch matches, interviews, promos, what kind of character they are, what kind of matches they have, what kind of interactions do they have. Is there certain people that they always wrestle with? And I'll do that. And I'll try and make things interesting and diverse. So like right now I have NXT, WCW, and WWE. So what I'm trying to constantly do is alter it, and even go back as far as I can. I've created the whole Agropino family, the Alvarado family. I had, when the NWO was going on, instead of the NWO, I had the PWO, which is the People's World Order. When DX was around, I had Generation X instead of DX. I had the Hardcore World Order, which was a group of people that was just all about tables, chairs, thumbtacks. I've created moments that I wish were real, that I wish were on TV. I created a storyline back in 2000. I created this storyline. So everybody remembers the Mick Foley Hell in a Cell bump. Well, after that I started reading all these books about Japanese wrestlers, getting really into it, because at the time I was a backyard wrestler. So what I did was I took the concept of Japanese wrestling and I merged it into the States. So what I did is I had 2 characters I pre-created. One was called Hardcore, one was called Barbed Wire. They were both from Washington. One was from Pasco, Washington, one was from Kennewick. They were former partners who broke off and started doing a Best of 7 series. Best of 7 hardcore series. Your glass matches, barbed wire matches, thumbtack. And what I did is I wanted to have a big angle, because the winner was supposed to be the #1 contender for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. So what I did is they had a Hell in a Cell match, and the way I wanted to end Hell in a Cell is I wanted to do something that had never been done. So what happened was both men started just stacking up tables and ladders on sides of the ring. They climb up the cell. They beat the piss out of each other for like 15-20 minutes. and then they do a superplex off the cell, which puts them both out of commission. Now in Storyline, I had Barbed Wire was out of commission for 4 years, while Hardcore was away for 2, and then I would bring them back and they had a rematch, because I thought that would be something unique. I also had one storyline in my fantasy wrestling that's always going around, is this feud I created with the Agrippinos and the Alvarados, which the story I built is both of them were big families in Washington State. It was the battle of the two. So what happened was, you had they used to be tag team partners. They were world tag team champions. Michael Alvarado left, went to World Championship Wrestling, became forgotten about, and Chucky became one of the biggest stars in the WWF, my WWF. And he became Intercontinental Champion, European Champion, King of the Ring, won the Royal Rumble, became the World Wrestling Federation Champion. Michael Alvarado returns and takes everything from him, which then would build it up, and for years I've done these matches where it's Iron Man, Cage, but it went from there to the sons of those characters then became involved in storylines and did wars and battles. So I always thought that was something interesting, that dichotomy. I've created tag teams, I've created pay-per-view names. Highway to Hell would be one of them that I really liked. Rage Wars would be another one of them. And I used to create these matches that you would never see, like a steel cage ladder match. So the ring is surrounded by a cage, you have a ladder inside, but it has ladder match rules. It's a completely different dichotomy to what you're doing. I've always been on the creative aspect. I spend roughly 10 to 12 hours researching stuff for shows that no one's going to see. I have wrestling figures. I do it in my room. No one's allowed to see it. And what I do is I'll go through and I have these matches set up. I have a certain day of the week that the matches are supposed to take place. I'm building up to these pay-per-views. And I like the big build-off. I've done tons of storylines where it's building. I've created factions, characters, amazing storylines that I wish people could know about. Booking to me is something I wish I could do as a job, because creatively, I feel like Vince McMahon. The reason I feel like Vince is I have all this talent that I put in these rosters. I build these storylines. I try and build great tag teams, cruiserweights, great feuds. I try to not always have the same matches, because the last thing I want is for something to get stale, which is one of my complaints with the product of nowadays. So I still immerse myself in it, and I've been doing it I'm 32 now. I've been doing it since 1990, 25, 26 years I've been doing this. And for 26 years, I've constantly been doing this. I've never missed anything. I've always done shows. I've never taken breaks from it. Some girlfriends didn't agree with it in the past. My fiance loves it. She thinks it's very interesting, and it helps me really use my creative juices to flow. Because all you have to do is you just have an idea. You have an idea of two wrestlers you want to feud. And then you build it. And you build it, and you build it, and you build it. And the best thing to do is you build it, you have a blow-off. And that's what I love about it. That's why I love about being a special kind of person that creatively because I love to write, make films, everything. I'm a very creative person, so to me, this is a no-brainer. So this is booking 102. Real soon, I'm going to do booking 103, where I'm actually going to go through and talk about the formation of some of my favorite storylines I've ever come up with. And I will see you guys next time.